Hello, friends. Happy Tuesday. I'm Helena Grant, and in response to my post from yesterday where I shared my face that pretty much summed up my Monday, a lot of people wanted to know what was behind my experience yesterday. So I wanted to share the experience they were multiple, and also to lead you through a practice I utilized. Well, I utilize it regularly personally in my work with my one-to-one clients, in the courses that I run, and yesterday it was an absolute lifesaver, especially paired with other transformational practices, because I was just in a horrific mood with all of the external factors at play that really seemed to be encouraging me to stay small, to not grow, and really indulge myself in the desire to crawl into bed and pull the covers over my head, which I did allow myself to do because there weren't a lot of other options. So yesterday was Monday. And on Sunday, we went through the Lion's Gate, the Power Portal, the new moon, all kinds of incredible, powerful, manifesting energies. Wherever you stood on Sunday, I'm sure it was exactly in the right place. And for me personally, new moons hit me particularly hard. I am actually a full moon baby. I was born on a Monday of a full moon in April. And for some reason, new moons just really kind of scramble my energy pretty significantly. I also spent some time with my mom this weekend. And as much as I love that woman, our energy fields really don't always align. And so yesterday I had this sort of vision of what my Monday was going to look like. I was going to be so productive. I have this big week. I have a wonderful offering that I'm putting out into the world at the end of the week. And so I just thought yesterday was going to be so on point. I had this whole plan of what it was going to look like. So, and there really was no indication when I woke up as to what the day was going to look like. I felt pretty good. I was ready to go. And I was greeted right off the bat with a tantrum. First class tantrum from my 6-year-old daughter. The kind of thing where you just have to leave the room and let them bury their head in a duffel bag while they sort through and let them process whatever they're feeling, because there was literally nothing I could do. And so we sort of got that squared away, dropped her off at camp, and I went to go and get my favorite chai tea latte from this adorable cafe down the street from where I live. And I asked for it extra hot because I love it extra hot. And so I was taking a few sips in my car, and the extra hotness seemed to have a significant effect on the cup. So when I went to put the cup in the cup holder, the whole top popped off and it spilled all over my hand and singed my hand so badly. It made me think of that woman all those years ago who had hot coffee spilled on her lap at McDonald's and sued them. I, of course, would not sue the cafe. I asked for it extra hot. I knew how hot it was, but it was a huge mishap. So I had to rush home, skip walking the dog at first, and douse my hand in a bowl of ice water because I couldn't even identify where the burns were. It was just the whole hand was burned. So I had to stand there for 15 minutes at least, icing my hand. And of course, there was still about 75% of the chai tea latte remaining. So I was like, oh, well, while I ice my hand, I'm going to sip my chai tea latte. And as I recover from this hand injury, hopefully I can write and type later today so I can get all of my work done. And while I'm icing, I'm going to have this infusion of caffeine going into my system. So I put the cup down on the kitchen island where I have my hand in the bowl of ice, and I go to put my backpack down on the kitchen island as well, which of course knocks over the chai tea latte, and it spills all over every pot and pan that we have, all over the kitchen. It was a first class mess. So I'm trying to ice my hand, clean up the chai tea latte, and have just this much of, a very large cup remaining. So just a few tiny sips. And it was so painful physically, emotionally, mentally. It was so frustrating. And yet it was totally hysterical because I'm like, this is just mishap Monday going on here. And then I was able to cool my hand down just enough to take the dog for a walk, who then, of course, was not well on our walk. She is fine now, but I couldn't help her. I had to just sit with her in the grass and rub her belly and let her work through something in her digestive tract that needed to just come through. So it was a really rough start to the week, and I found that the residual response in my system was so debilitating that I just couldn't shift my mood. I couldn't do it consciously. It had to be a multifaceted, multi-pronged approach to moving into some sort of space that was other than what I was feeling, because it was really inconsistent with where I needed to be and what I wanted to be doing. So I paired a lot of my favorite practices: journaling, yoga, seated meditation, as well as EFT, emotional freedom technique, and existential kink. And EFT is an amazing warm-up for the existential kink meditation. So I've just spent a few minutes describing this mishap Monday that I had, and I wanted to share that because I want to share my practice of EFT with you. And there are all kinds of ways that you can do EFT, but I have cheater EFT. I like to call it cheater EFT because we don't use all the points on the face and the body. We focus on just one here on the collarbones. And for this very quick cheater EFT practice, we're going to do a quick release because our bodies remember more than our minds do. Our bodies are where our subconscious mind lives. And our bodies don't know the difference between 20 minutes ago, 20 seconds ago, 20 minutes ago, 20 years ago. And so for me, the sort of trauma of yesterday is still in there. And a lot of times we just need to release the blocks that are standing in the way of us fulfilling our creative potential and allowing our creative force to fully move through and express through us. So I invite you to just watch me. You will receive the benefits from this practice just by watching or listening, or you can also follow along. So very, very lightly with the tips of the fingers, patting on the collarbones. This is tuning into a meridian, a subtle energy running through the body. And the touch is very light, as if you're just patting a little baby on the back who just needs a little soothing and a little comforting. And I do like to conduct my cheater EFT usually in 3 rounds, but we're just gonna do the initial round here. The releasing round is so effective. So here we go. Again, welcome to just watch or follow along. And repeat after me if you would like to. Even though I had a complete clusterfuck, shit show, dumpster fire of a day yesterday, I choose to deeply and completely love, accept, and approve of myself. And approval is something I love to add in here. It is such a key ingredient in transformational practices. Taking a nice deep breath. And even though I had so many things that I wanted to get done, and I still have so many things that I need to get done, and I find myself still struggling with all the things that I need to get done, I choose to deeply and completely love, accept, and approve of myself. Yes, so good. You can probably already feel the effects and the benefit. And continuing on just a few more rounds here. And even though it really surprises me that I have all this resistance, and that even though I feel ready to approach my to-do list, I find that after having gone through so many mishaps yesterday and all the days before, that I'm still meeting with so much resistance, so many blockages, so much self-doubt, and this desire that even though I want to grow and I want to show up in impactful ways, I also want to stay small and hidden and not famous. And even though I feel this way, and all of these feelings totally contradict one another, I choose to deeply and completely love, accept, and approve of myself. Nice deep breath here, and let's do one final release. And even though I really feel that I should be more mature and more adult and more readily available for all that I want to do and all that I want to accomplish, and that I really shouldn't be so emotional and mercurial and so affected by the moon, I choose to deeply and completely love, accept, and approve of myself. Ah, wonderful. Okay, and releasing the hands down into the lap. Let's just keep the eyes closed for just a moment and really sink into the feeling of release and the space that we've created in the body, just in that very short, very accessible practice. And really making ourselves available for whatever arises. Sometimes there's maybe a little grief. I tuned into a lot of entertainment, a lot of humor about all of these situations. But whatever came up for you, just making yourself totally readily available for that. Wonderful. And opening the eyes, taking a breath. You're welcome to journal a little bit or reply in the comments how that worked for you. I would love to hear. I definitely feel much better. So thank you for sharing that with me. Thank you for being here for me to share it with you. And I hope that approach, EFT is such an amazing practice, psychological acupressure, again, using all these meridians. I find that I was often convincing myself out of utilizing it because of all the call out points. And you get so much of the effect here on the collarbones, and you get to use your alligator arms. It's very, very easy. You don't even have to reach up to your head or your eyebrows. So I hope you enjoy the Cheater EFT. You're welcome to use it to your great benefit. And I am going to hopefully proceed here on this Tuesday and attack my to-do list that is still pending. Thanks so much again, and so much love to you. Until the next. Mwah.